So we've got these crochet mat things, and one of them, I think, going that way, I can have that much bending up at the side for the barrels, so I'm going to put them that way. One and two stitched together, something like that, so it's much wider. And I've got four of them, so we should be able to do both barrels. Now it's just a case of stitching them all together with cable ties. It's just going to take flipping forever. And then we'll attach them to the grid. These extra bits of the grid that I put on, I'm probably going to take off. Might leave that one on, it's not too bad. Then I'll have to remake the grid a bit, sort the legs out. Is it? Yeah, they're a bit knackered. So we'll sort everything out and come back to you when I've stitched everything together. And actually it was sunny 5 minutes ago, and now it's all cloudy and looking like it's going to rain. They're doing alright. Need to clean that window off. And then if we get around it today or tomorrow, that's dripping there still. I don't understand why that's now dripping when before it wasn't dripping. I'll have a look at it when we get the barrels off, because everything's got to come off yet again. Start to get me down, and then it's still going to have to come off again in the future to get the bottom drains put in. So I wish I could afford to do it now, but I reckon you're looking at about 15-16 quid for the tank connectors underneath, times 2, 30 odd quid, 35 quid. Then we're going to need 2 90s, a ball valve or a slide valve, and a reducer of some description to reduce it down to whatever pipe I use at the end. I reckon about 100 quid for both barrels, something like that. So it can't happen today. You have to be saved up for in the future. Yeah. Let's get them sorted. It's going to pee it down, I know it is. I'm going to have to work in the conservatory. Right, we'll catch you in a bit, guys, when I've stitched these together. Well, welcome back, beautiful people. I haven't done that much filming over the last couple of weeks, and that's because I was waiting for all of this stuff to turn up. Now, what this is for the barrels. So we've got 2 4-inch tank connectors, which will go at the bottom of the barrel, and they're going to be connected to this, which we're going to cut in half. But looking at that, I reckon I've got an idea for something later on. Bloody planes. So yeah, now that plane's gone away, I reckon if I built something like this later on, you'd probably fill it up with activated carbon or some kind of filtration, and it can go on the back between the UV and the backy shower. That'll be a project for another day. And we've also got 2 50mm valves, 490s, got a bit of pipe there from leftover, and I've got a brand new piece of pipe, should I need it, over there. So that's everything we've got, and I've also got to change these grids. They're absolutely knackered. So I've got this piece of little white pipe here, and then some connectors, 90s, to put it all together, but it's not going to have any legs like that because I couldn't get in the right fittings. So they're just hopefully going to slot in. They should stay. And the fish are doing alright, apart from the fact the filter does need a really good clean, but we haven't done it, because in order to clean it at the moment I have to take the barrels off, take everything round the front, wash it all out, and it's been a nightmare. It takes me 4 or 5 hours to do it like that way, just to clean the filter, which is a nightmare. So hopefully when we get this stuff sorted, we'll have an easier job. Now I've gone for ball valves rather than slide valves, because the pipework at the bottom is not going to be secured to anything. So I was pulling up on a slide valve. There's a potential to pull all the pipework and then move these that are under the barrel and cause it to leak. So with a ball valve, I could put my hand on the pipe, turn it, and it shouldn't move anywhere. And we've also got my new tripod set up to my new tablet, which I finally got working. Had it since the summer, and only just sorted it out the weekend. So we got cable ties, tape measure, saw, solder weld, and I think we're ready to start working. So first thing is to make up the new grid templates. Fish are looking lovely. And the other thing we've got to sort out after we've done everything is, as you can see, just about see, the water's still coming out the top of the vacuum shower. So I'm going to drill a few holes in the bottom of the spray bar and stop that. I've then got to have a look at this, because this keeps dripping out the back. And I've turned it right down now, we're on about number 3. So we can't turn the pump down any lower. Plants have gone absolutely doolally. And what I might do is on this one, is on the bits that it exits, I'm going to drill a few holes in those so the water's coming out quicker, or coming out sooner when it gets to the top. So we'll sort that out after we've done the barrels. Yeah, it's annoying me, it keeps dripping out. So let's get working. So there you go. They're made and ready to go, but there's a problem. Now the pipe that I really wanted to get was a 15mm pipe. It was a lot more flexible, but that pipe's push fit, so it fits together differently in the corners, and it's no good for what I wanted. So I got this stuff, and as feared, it's not as flexible as I thought it was going to be, and it won't go through the hole. It just will not go through. even taken apart, and I've tried taking it all apart and trying to fix it together inside the barrel, and that doesn't work. So I'm going to have to source something that's more flexible than that, but stronger than this stuff. See, this stuff flexed, so I was able to get it into the barrel, and then it's all fell apart. It's all broken now. So I'll have to go out tomorrow and try and source some more pipe. Right, this is not going to be entirely wasted, because I reckon with what I want to build over the top, I'll use this kind of piping, and so that'll be there like that, and then this would make quite a nice door, so I can still get in and feed the fish. And what I want to do is build like a giant greenhouse over the top. I'll use this pipe, go and get some more of this because it's fairly cheap, push it all together, piece of polythene over the top, cut out 2 doors, and then make doors, or we'll find a use for them somewhere. Although they turn like that, they just don't go through that. Just don't go in the hole of the barrel. And if I cut the barrel, I've then got to try and get it back together somehow. Right. I'm gonna not do that at all. So, well, at least we learned something. I was kind of fearing that. I mean, even at this length, this pipe is not that flexible. That's what I feared when I was in the shop getting it, but I have to see if we can get the 15mm pipe and work out a way of getting it to fit together somehow. So, disaster, but not a disaster. It's all a learning curve. Fish a little bit disturbed, so they're hanging a bit deeper than normal. Right, I suppose we tidy everything up, throw the rubbish away, and source something for tomorrow. That's going to be tomorrow wasted while I'm out and about. So we'll get back to you when I've found a solution, guys. Alright then, yesterday we went out, despite the fact it rained all day, and we got this. Now, this is flexi hose, but it's not flexi hose as we know it. This is off of electronic cabling, and it comes with these 90 degrees, slightly different to what we're used to, and has 2 screws at the bottom. Now I'm not sure if they're going to be stainless steel, so I'm going to remove those and simply glue that, either solder weld it on, yeah, or use a little bit of liquid black or something and fill the holes in, and it goes in like that, and this should now be flexible once I've made the frame to actually flex and get inside the barrel. That's either going to be inspired genius or a complete failure. I don't think there's going to be any in-betweens. So, because they're like that at the bottom, there's going to be no legs on it, so I'm going to have to rely on just basically it wedging in and staying in the place. And the plan is to glue it all together. Excuse the dodgy camera work, I'll just get that in one-handed. Just glue it on there like that, because I don't want any water inside it. If it does pop out, I like air inside it so it floats to the top, so I can retrieve it rather than sink to the bottom. Bleeding idiots on bikes. Get that all the time around this area. Right, so where was I? Yeah, I'd like it to float to the top rather than sink to the bottom, because if it sinks to the bottom, it's going to be a nightmare to get out. So, let's get on with making this bad boy. Let's see how we get on. Right, well that's the first one sorted. And that's the best I can get it apart, get it together to show you. So, if I touch it, it's all going to curl inside itself again. It's not glued together yet. Well, what I'm going to do, see how the outside ones, get their bend to go like that, so that when the barrel expands, it should naturally follow the expansion and keep it sealed together. So nothing should be getting down the sides like it does on the original grid. And it should naturally keep itself wedged in place. But if I touch it, it just wants to curl inside. So when I fix it together, I'll fix it so the pipe's like that, the curve is like that. At the moment, if I touch it, it's going to go inside. So what I'll do is I'll glue each bit together flat first, and then glue them, the two halves together, and hopefully we should get a square like that, or rectangle. Look at that. So, going to get the other one cut, the other piece of pipe cut, and get the other one fixed together, and then we'll work about gluing it all properly together. And there's the second one done. It'll take a little bit more manipulating to get it looking like the first one. And it's very hard to even measure in that pipe to cut them at the same lengths, as it does squish together. It does it better when it's a bigger piece, but you cut them and you measure them and it's like, it's that much difference. Weird. And each piece, as you can see, in a slightly different place on the coil, slightly different tension to each piece. So no piece was exactly the same, so that's the outcome. But for me, that's good enough. Twist that bit around and manipulate it before I glue it. So we're going to work on what we're going to use to glue them together. The solder well melts it together. Now, it's not solder well pipe, so I'm wondering if it's going to melt it too much. The thing to do would be to test it on a small piece like that first and see what damage it does to the actual pipe, whether it just melts through it. You've got these ridges on here as well. Is it going to glue all of them ridges together? I think the answer is going to be liquid black, CT1. Yeah, so if I CT1 those bits together, take the screws out, drop some sealant or something around the two plastic bits, and blob a bit of CT1 in the screw hole. That should work. Not sure whether they are stainless steel screws or not. Doesn't say. So yeah, it'll be safe. We'll take the screws out and get them all glued together. So I'll catch back with you in a bit. Oh, hello beautiful people. And this is the first bit of filming I can get done today. Even though we've been working. Now, how's the email? Did you notice anything different? Yep, so last night I was having a cigarette about 11:15 and I heard a rustling sound. I was like, what the hell's going on in that tree? The tree that used to be there. Thinking it was going to be two pigeons come flying out of it. The entire tree decided to fall over. And it came down with a mighty crash into the road. Fortunately, nobody was in it at the time. And if the tree had been about 6 foot taller, it would have gone straight through the roof of a car. So that guy was lucky. Has taken out a bit of the fence down the bottom. It's not our fence, it's the bottom of the garden's fence. So, yeah, so last night 2 guys turned up and they chainsawed a bit of it away just so we could get access to that road. And this morning they turned up with a tractor and a crane and everything. Chainsaws. So I've been sitting there working with a lovely sound of chainsaws. So I didn't want to get any of that on video because it would drive you nuts, as it drove me nuts. But we have done the first one, and we've got these all liquid black together on CT1. So the next lot's ready to go. That's about as flat as in shape I can get it. So it's going to take a day to go off before I can get the grid onto it. So I'll do the other one and then find somewhere to put them and they can dry off. And the next thing I've got to do is get into the pond, because even now I've got the pump on just 1%. It's constantly pissing out of there. So we've turned it off for now. Be alright for a few minutes. Get in there and we'll sort it out. Well, that's my day's work done. Starting to get dark early now. Winter is coming. Miserable normally. Cold, dark and wet normally. But we have managed to stop that leaking. And what I've done is I've just covered some of the holes up again, and we're now coming out a silly trickle. So I'm going to have to find a happy medium. Go in there again tomorrow or something. I'll open up another hole. It's too difficult to climb on the top of it. Some of it's secure and some of it isn't. Strange. Getting strange white marks coming on the wood. Whether that's a varnish or not. It's supposed to be outdoor varnish. This one's looking a bit weak as well. That's got a few cracks down it. So that one might need to be replaced next year. So, not just now. There's also around the screw holes, isn't it? There's obviously moisture getting in there somewhere. Go around with a liquid black or something. Alright. There was one. Yeah. So as I say, day's jobs are done. Just gotta put this away. Clean the glass. It's a little bit cloudy in there where the pump's come back on. Throw some of the crap out of the pipe. It's just like your biofilm that comes off. So, tomorrow, hopefully, we can get the grids off of those and onto the new frames. So I'll catch you tomorrow, guys. Well, overnight, they seem to have gone off okay. Just have a look a little bit. This should be alright now, it should be solid. We can start work. So, the next task is to take the grids off of there and attach them to those. So I'm going to do that and show you the results. Right, so there's the first one done. And it does flex. I'm going to go too mad with it until I try and get it in. I'll cut the cable ties off and then stitch that over the top. So, on to the next one. Cutting the cable ties off the old one. There's a battle. It's taking me about half an hour to do that. I would say. And I would say, if it didn't have the media dropping through that, that would be perfect on its own, I reckon. But we're going to go with this stuff on the top. So hopefully that will bend. I'll get that to fold up and around so that it stays to the edge of the barrels and none of the media should drop through. And I'm going to have to cut a hole somewhere for the airline to go through. We'll work that out when we get to it. Right, next one. There we go. They remind me of two hovercrafts, sort of. Yeah. Right, next task is to stitch those onto those. So, we'll work that out and come back to you in a bit. And that's the first one done. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to win any prizes down the WI for my sewing skills. That's pretty tidy. We're not fully in the middle and we're not fully square, but it was impossible to count how many squares I was in. Kept losing my count, so in the end I just thought, well, bugger it. Just put it in the middle as best I could and stitched it together. Right, I'll do that one now before it gets dark. Right, well that's both of them done. I'm going to call it quits for today. I reckon you got about, if you've got 2 hours a day like left, you'll be lucky. But there's not really enough time to get all the media out, check, see if they fit, and if they don't fit and they need to go up like that, then up, and I'm going to need to pleat and sort the corners out. Struggling with 2 hands here. See, it'll pinch like that. Yep. So it needs to be pinched like that, possibly, and stitched together, and then the bit obviously pleated around for something like that, all cut off, and hopefully it will then stretch out with the barrel. But we'll try it like that for begin with. If we get too many creases, then we'll work out the corners. Right, get tidied up, and yeah, we'll come back tomorrow. Like I say, they're not completely the same bloody length, same distance from the middle. Yeah. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. Yeah. Pretty much are the same, each one. So there we go. Right then. So tomorrow, the first thing we'll do is we'll sort the pipe work out. Get those connectors cut the right size, and then we can work out how we're going to fix the grids in. We'll work out where the airline's going to go. If I'm going to cut a hole in the middle, or let it come up the side like it used to. We'll work all that out tomorrow. And it's a case of getting the barrels off, getting all the media out, getting the barrels turned upside down, get the holes cut out, and yeah, go like clappers to glue the rest of it together. So we'll pick you back up tomorrow, guys. So see you in a swell. Right, so today's task is to take that like that and make it look something like that. Now I did try to get the rubber boot straight onto here. And it goes on, and I can't get the clamp down. I've tried taking it off, put it in there, screw it back up. I just can't get it screwed back up. Excuse me. So it's going to have to go on the pipe like that. So I'll do that, and then we'll get back to you. So I had another go, and I've done it. I got that onto there. So we don't need that piece of pipe, which has saved me a job. Right, we'll find a use for that piece of pipe somewhere else down the road. It's a good pipe actually. It's the same as what I've used on the filtration system. It's nice and thick, even though it's waste pipe. Right. That is then going to screw under the barrel. So if I get the other one off and put that one like that, it should save ourselves a ton of work. Just got to screw that up nice and tight. Alright then, let's do the other one. Yeah, that was literally 5 minutes. Save myself a ton of work, cutting that pipe, gluing it in, fixing them on. That actually looks quite neat. Right. It'll go like that. The barrel, that'll be on the inside, be on the outside, and that will clamp the barrel. So now we can look at the next task, which is getting all the media out of there and out of the moving bed. Yeah. Wasn't expecting to get this far today. Expecting this to take me all frigging day. Ah. Well, we'll take what we get and we'll carry on. So I'm going to get the media out. It's easier to leave it full like that. Get all the media out because it floats, and then I will empty all the shit out. Right. So I'll do that and I'll snap back to you. So we thought we'd got all the media out until we bubbled the barrel, and that. And now on my second bait box, fill it up. That's all the crap coming out the bottom. And there's media down there as well. So lovely job. I do apologise if you are having your dinner. Right, let's get the rest of this out, 2 hands, and come back to you in a little bit. Well, there we go then. That's all the media out. That's the stuff from the static bed, and that's the stuff from the moving bed. Put a bit more water in there. Make sure it's kept wet. And oh dear, look at the state of all that crap. What has gone almost green, and that is just from getting the media out. Yeah, we've got most of it now. Looks like it. There'll be some still in the bottom, I bet you. What we'll do is we'll drain both barrels out now, catch any more media in the basket and the drain, and this should be the last time I've got to do this old school. So let's get on with it. Well, that's the first barrel drained off. Look at the amount of shit that's come out of it still. There's loads of shit in there as well. And as soon as I opened it, I got plastered in it. Thank God I got my waders on. This hand as well. Absolutely covered in it. Loads there, the gravel, slows down there. Excuse me. Yeah, that's the first barrel done. I'll do this one now. Right. Now I've got to find a basket because that one's full of shit. Let's use this little one. There's a new one that I got to fit down the hole and it doesn't fit. Right, so there's the pipe too. Right, 1, 2, 3. That's ready for that. Stand back. I think, God, this is going to be the last time. Hopefully, I have to drain it this way. Right, maybe it's how difficult to film and hold the pipe. So I'm going to use my nose and shut the video off. No. Come on. Can't turn it off. Great. Hold that there for a second. Alright then. So we're ready to clean all this media out now. And the barrels out. And we're on the front drive. So you can understand why I don't clean these out that often. I've cleaned it out for about 3 weeks now. Because every time I do, I've got to drag all this around the front, drag the hose pipe, and then take some of the media, put it in that crate, spray it off, put it in the bucket, cleaned. Keep doing that, back and forwards when I need the water and don't need the water. And by the time I'm done, my ankles are rubbed all over these waders. So, without wasting more water, and we'll carry on. This is why it takes me about 3 or 4 hours to clean the bloody filter out. Right, so good news. The first grid fits. I haven't actually managed to get it into position yet, but it goes through the hole. So it might be a case of having to trim that white mat down a bit more, but it does follow the contour of the barrel when it was horizontal, so I'm assuming that when it's pulled into its right position it should follow as well without me having to make too much of an adjustment to it. So that's good news. The bad news is we're running out of daylight. I took so long to clean all that media out, just doing it half a tub at a time. I put too much in, it doesn't clean it. I put too little in, it all goes everywhere when you spray it. So you have to get just the right amount in, clean it, wash it round, and it comes out like that. Pretty much brand new. Bit of colour to it. Right, so the plan was to use some of the pond water to keep the media alive. But because the pond water is now like that, and I've just cleaned the media, I don't want all that shit back in the media. Oh, look, I've missed a bit of glass there. Cleaned it the other day. Must have missed that bit. Missed around the edges as well, but I go gentle around the edges because I don't want to upset the seam. So, these guys, for now I've got everything switched off. I want to try and let this crap settle to the bottom. So that when I'm finished and I open that drain, all the crap that's on the bottom gets sucked down the bottom drain. And then we can give it a quick test clean. And then hopefully we'll get it all back working. That's the shear road, that is. Spare it. Yeah, look at that for a poop. That's from the shear rope. That's a great turd. Right. Right then, let's get everything straightened up. Fortunately, we saved a bit of time with those, which is handy, and we saved a bit of pipe. We spent money we didn't need to spend, but we can find a use for that. That probably fit on the other barrel, actually. Possibly. Yeah. Paddling pull barrel. Right, so it's not going to be wasted. Right, let's get tidied up. So I haven't had anything to eat yet. Clean that out another day. Tomorrow, sort that. That's going to have to stay off for tonight. So maybe later on I might put the air once that crap's settled. But they should be fine this time of year with no air. Keep an eye on it. Right then. So tomorrow we do those and rebuild them so that they're at the bottom and the bricks are at the top. That one's going to take quite a bit of working out. Turn the barrels over, cut the holes in the bottom, fix those in place. Get my hand inside before I do that and try and tighten that up so that that's not going to be leaking. And fix them on. I just fix the bottom one on, I think, first. Take that off. Take that off or leave that on. If I take it off, it's a nightmare to get that back on. And I'm going to be pushing into the barrel and possibly loosening that. Yeah. So that'll have to be whatever order I do that in. I have to work that out nearer the time. Get the grids back in, get the air stones back in, and then get it all put back together. Once it's all cut, glue on the pipework for the bottom drains. Leave it for 24 hours so glue goes off, and then we can fill up and give it a good test. So tomorrow it's going to be off. I'll put the air back on tomorrow, and the filtration is going to be off for a couple of days, but it can't be helped. It's got to be done. I can't be cleaning the barrels like I've been doing for the rest of this duration of pond existence. Oh, my back. Spraying them, it's bending down to spray them out to your back. It takes bloody hours. Like I say, I've still got probably another hour of assembling it all back together as is. Put the media in, fill it up. Yeah. So it takes forever. This way, open the valve, dump the crap without dumping the media, and refill them, boil them up, empty them out again, and that's your clean. Right then, let's get everything squared away and get something to eat. So I will catch you probably tomorrow, guys. We are ready for cutting the holes in the bottom of these. I was hoping to film me actually doing this, but it's decided to rain. It's only drizzle, so I am going to keep working. We need to get this pond back working. About 5 minutes ago I switched the air on and it blew all the crap back round the pond, so I switched it back off again. Fish are in there somewhere. There's a couple of them. I sort that nasty bit of green out. Thought I would clean the window off. Need to get this working back as quick as we can. So I'm going to crack on and come back to you in a little bit. Yeah, that's the first one done. We clean it up. I say I'm nervous of doing this. There's an understatement. So finding the middle and measuring from there to there, and the middle from there to there, which is 9 centimetres, so it's 18 centimetres. And this one's slightly different. It seems to be bigger. Where's that bigger? 18 there. 9 is on the middle line. So we need to find, yeah, 18 there. 9. Right, I can't do it. Can't mark it with one hand, so I'm going to put you down for a sec and I'll mark it up. There we go. Okay, all of this off. Look at that. Look at that. I expected to make that much bloody mess. Anyway, we'll get that cleaned out. We'll get these cleaned out. Stanley blade, I've got a Stanley blade. So we can get that cleaned out. And look, to fit. Oh, you are kidding me. Yeah, I've got to be joking. Well, that's just fucking great, isn't it? It don't fit. That's large, that's a 4-inch hole saw. Why is that? Oh, you're kidding me. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to scrape it out larger and keep it circular. I can fit that in. It's going to take a lot longer than I thought. Oh, this is never easy. And now I've got 2 barrels that are basically fucking useless unless I can get that in. Oh man. Right, let's work this out. Clean that up. And work it out. But this is not looking good right now. I'll come back to you in a bit, guys, when I figure this out.